Continue to bless, give the governor the real courage, the real presence of mind to continue in this form. At the end of the day, we pray that all that shall be done today shall be to your glory and to the advancement of Anambra State. All of this we pray in Jesus' mighty name.
A man who starts with roads in Anambra State, you will see that he has started. Ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about the man himself, Professor Charles Chikuma Soludo, CFR. Please put your hands together for him. Country, Ifechika, OFR. Put your hands together for him. Uchi Okafor is the Vice Chairman and he is in our midst. Anambra Commissioner for Transport, Mr. Paul, member of this committee, and he is a Professor of Geology and Applied Geophysics. Welcome, sir. And then Dr.
Starting blocks to concessions using the geographic and political boundaries of Anambra, named OPL 228, OPL 28, OPLs 901 to 907. OPL 914, OPL 915 and 916, operated by Odin Petroleum Resources, and OPL 917. Out of 13 OPLs, OPL 280 and OPL 915 have been converted to OMLs 143 and 155 respectively. OML 143 is operated by CIPO, while OML 115 is operated by Odin Petroleum Resources. Sahara Energy has just concluded 3 weeks acquisitions in OML OPL 228. The 3 being exploited, OML 143, OML 155, and OPL 916 have combined reserves of about 1.33 billion barrels of oil and 5.5 trillion cubic feet of gas. Nigeria has gas reserves stands at 203 trillion cubic feet. Anambra State has therefore been classified as an oil producing state in August 2021. Activities in the other OPLs have not been helped because it is believed that Anambra Basin is mostly gas. Since there is no gas infrastructure in the southeast, the zeal to explore and exploit the gas resources is in there. Global warming and climate brutality are now essential threats to humanity and the environment. The world needs to accelerate efforts to achieve net zero and mitigate global warming effects. African climate, people and agriculture will suffer in the coming years. The problem has been caused by emissions from the low countries that have built economies over decades on fossil fuels. Africa barely contributes about 3% of this economy. Recent Ukraine-Russia war has exposed how vulnerable the world can be without fossil fuel, resulting in double speak by the world countries who have suddenly gone back to coal. This is where Nigeria is expected to make hay because we are more of a gas nation than an oil nation. Anambra Basin is expected to have a high natural gas potential. Reserves reported so far in OML 143 and OML 155 points towards that. However, the slow process of hydrocarbon development is attributable to the uncertainty of allocation difficulties in the basin, resulting to sluggish investment decisions. Nigeria's population potential. It is a mistake that Nigeria petroleum product demands is expected to grow from 13.2 million metric tons in 2015 to 17.3 million metric tons by 2025. while the population growth corresponding to this demand is 1.2 million in 2015, 207 million in 2022, and 234 million in 2025, respectively. Therefore, catapulting Nigeria to being the third most populated country by 2050, making case for accelerated development of hydrocarbon in Anambra State. Nigeria's greatest national resource, 203 trillion cubic feet of gas, is also its logical transition fuel. The developed world pressures to abandon fossil fuel are being pushed back by the recognition of the need to drive development with reliable energy. Commonwealth Secretary General has proposed a case for loss and damage fund in COP 27 due to the emission created by the developed world that is affecting Africa, who never contributed in the emissions. COP 27 will focus on how best to achieve this balance for the benefit of tomorrow's 2.5 billion Africans, of whom 500 million will be Nigerians. In the road to COP 27, MOE Ibrahim Foundation will be in that if the whole of Sub-Saharan Africa, less South Africa, we are to triple this electricity consumption using entirely gas, is the only 0.6% to global carbon emissions. Energy transition sustained drivers. Oil remains main driver for Nigeria's development. Anambra gas formation. Anambra basin holds an estimated gas reserve of over 30 trillion cubic feet and 1.3 billion barrels. There are other upside potential from other acreages in the basin, especially of the committee members. It is with the above in mind that the state government tell you individually for respective values we are expected to bring into the acceleration of oil and gas development in our state. Thank you all, especially Madam Chairman, for accepting to hear this committee. Thank you, and God bless.
To this very, very important occasion. It's very important because Anambra has now formally joined the states, some states in Nigeria, as an oil and gas producing state. And today we are beginning a very important job of trying to formalize, have a formal, formidable committee that will then assist the state and Nigeria in making sure that Anambra, the oil and gas reserves and resources in Anambra are exploited and developed in a manner that is consistent with the overall long-term sustainable development of Anambra State. Say, the oil and gas happen to fall within the ambit of the exclusive legislative list of Nigeria. However, to exploit oil and gas, you have to pass through the land, which is within the ambit of the state and the government. You have to pass our land to get to oil. You have to pass our land to get to gas. And in Anambra, land is it's a very, very scarce commodity. We have the second smallest landmass after Lagos. And the tragedy with Anambra's own is that nature, the environment, the coastal environment that we have, that our own land is prone to erosion, flooding, degradation, and all of that. And consequently, Anambra is losing land. Our own land mass is shrinking. Why the large chunk of our land, about a third of our land, Anambra is about the erosion, trolley erosion capital of the world, I'm there to say. About a third of our land is either already submerged or under threat. And what we can ill afford is then for the remaining part of it to be damaged by exploration and exploitation of oil and gas. So the twin things of land and environment happen to be very, very important. I'm trying to situate the importance of this committee. Anambra is unique in the sense that compared to other states, some other states that have become oil producing, all our own happen to be within, how do you call it, no offshore. Everything is on the shore, just on our land here. And that's the land where people go to farm. That's a land where people who live for industrialization. That's the land where, so the opportunity cost of the exploitation is heaviest on Anambra. And this makes it quite a unique one. On the one hand, it's a blessing that we have this huge resource domiciled in Anambra. And to put it in context, if you have 1.33 already over reserves, and I'm sure that will be quite much more out of Nigeria's total reserves of oil. That's a significant proportion of Nigeria's oil reserve. Then if you have the 35.5 trillion cubic feet of gas, as the Honorable Commissioner had just revealed, that's the one already proven. That means, I don't know any other state that has a higher share in terms of percentage of the total proven reserve of gas in the country. And so Anambra might indeed become the gas capital of Nigeria. So in terms of the asset combination, huge asset, supposed to be a blessing. But there are threats that I have just enumerated. And it is in the context of this that, of course, much of this actually not being exploited at some point. You talk about 2 OML and 1 OPM, isn't it? Yeah, it's exploited, still minuscule relative to the reserves and even the gas bit, not even scratched, as it were. So, you need huge investments in the sector, but we need to be guided that we don't repeat the mistakes that have been made in some other places. I mean, being a latecomer is a blessing in disguise, in the sense that we have to learn the lessons from the earlier comers. The earlier comers have had their resources exploited and they have been, how do you put it? They have been taking the benefits and, of course, the costs associated with the way and manner that the resources have been exploited. We wouldn't want to repeat the same mistakes in Anambra. That's part of our advantage of being led commerce. And so, this is the context in which we decided that it is important to have a team of experts, those who know. What do I know about oil and gas? Let's go. Nothing know about oil and gas. We don't buy gas, we use that crude. Go and buy petrol. That's all I know. The experts are here. And I want to, first of all, thank all of you, members of this committee, for accepting to serve Anambra, to serve our people. I want to, you're all very distinguished professionals in your various callings. The chair happened to be one of our own oil and gas board. So, I wouldn't dare be lying on one day. I said I'm on one day about it. So, those people who come in to do this and so on and so forth here. I think after today they will start doing that for us. We'll tell them we have those who know what they know. And they themselves know that you know what they know. So I think that conversation will become a much more informed conversation. And Yes, is to, like I said, help us navigate through this uncharted waters for the state in a manner that ensures that we go on a sustainable long-term development. That these resources are being exploited in a manner that is sustainable. That even the resources generated from that are also being deployed in a way that negates the mistakes of the past. Well, there's a typical thing of the oil resource costs, that societies that are in abundant natural resources end up being poor. In places where you have many of these natural resources, be it solid minerals or oil thing, you have the youths and everybody, they abandon the productive employments to go to look for the rents. And in many cases, you find armed struggle, you find all manner of things, the youths into all kinds of stuff. We want to be sure that we don't get into that. So even how we deploy the resources that we generate from there is quite an issue. I know there's supposed to be a fund for the oil producing states, to which both the states and the oil producing communities, to which both the state and the oil companies are supposed to contribute. We need to set that up like yesterday. It's also to advise us as government, how do we navigate, how do we engage with these guys? What is it that is even the state of play? We've got long terms of reference here. As I saw it there, listed number 1 to 19. I won't read all. You've got quite a whole, I think by these terms of reference, basically almost like expecting that we're going to have a power for them to be sitting down here every day. You have to deliver on all of these things and so on. But, you know, to help us even create measures, advice on the policies and so on that we can do for this exploitation and so on, and take the inventory of what we have. Where are they? Well, how is the best way to engage? Because we tend to engage the federal government, even and the oil, those who are giving these concessions actively. Certainly, we're not going to allow people come here and damage environment, damage the state, damage livelihood, and just walk away with their dollars and so on and so forth. And we have to engage the federal government the federal government and the operators very actively. And there's various terms of reference, including helping to screen and promote investment opportunities in this sector, and then also for us to have responsible investors in place. We're going to be very, very active. We won't wait until the damage is done before we start complaining. That's one thing we can assure whoever is operating here on the oil stuff. We're not going to wait until damage the environment before then will come back to bed. We want to have responsive and responsible engagement. You play your part, we play our part, the communities play their part. We put in what we are supposed to put, you put in what you are supposed to put in, and the communities do theirs. On our own, as state government, we have actually begun for next year's budget. We've said that we'll set aside in our budget 5% of the revenue fund derivable from derivation to go investment back into those host communities, as it were. Very direct. And I'm not sure, I don't know where else that is being done. And when we did the numbers, it's coming to something significant. The oil companies also do theirs. We won't have these problems of the host communities becoming desolate, abandoned homelands. We should be able to be putting back continuously. If anything, those host communities need to be model communities. they need to become model companies. And we will be getting into them ourselves to begin to make necessary investments. We need your advice and guidance on all of this. In other words, how do we get these things done in a sustainable and profitable manner, win-win situation? How do we, who can be better investors to mobilize them to come? And even beyond all of this, thinking outside of the box, how do we ensure that these resources generated and exploited from Anambra don't just get exploited and hide away? How do we have some of this, even the, if you like, the downstream processing of these products into usable forms? You know, modular refineries, mega refineries, and so on to emerge and create jobs, rather than just exploit it to their bike and go somewhere. If you have 35.5 trillion cubic of gas proven already, that's quite a huge chunk that can be done with that. Electricity and so on. We think that this can actually get some other investors to buy all of this all around to our industrial parks in the state. That will actually ignite a major revolution in our industrialization by helping us get 24-hour electricity. So we need your advice, we need your guidance, and there should be no limit to the scope of your thinking and advice and guidance, and even steps that need to be taken. Just call us 24/7. We're lucky to have the chair as chair here. This, my sister, is one that she doesn't take no for an answer. I'm sure if she calls you and you come along, she knows how to grab you, and she's going to grab you. No, say what we will that it can. If only everybody says, I would have to contribute my time and talent. Everybody contributes just a little bit of their time and talent and resources to these things. We will make it anything that we will that it can be. And I want to thank you once more for accepting to serve our people. I told you, anybody accepting to serve, I said, these are people paying to serve. These are people paying to serve. That's what we're here about. God didn't make a mistake to create you to come from this part of the world. And on that last day, one of the questions he's going to ask all of us is, how did you contribute to live it better? Not that I left, no. How did you make this place better? That's why I'm here. And I'm pretty sure that's why you are here. Thank you very much. Let's get it on. Said that the Anambra Petroleum and Gas Committee is hereby inaugurated. Thank you very much. Please, my guest is
Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and my committee members, you're all welcome to this August occasion. Why do I call it August occasion in December? It is a rare privilege to be called to serve your people. Incidentally, our people have ended up serving a lot of people who are not our people. And for us being called on to come and serve is a great honor. And more importantly, in a field where I have invested at least 30, this is my 36th year. Having worked for Texaco in 1991, I was the legal advisor to Texaco, and then public and government affairs manager 1997, and 2001 when they merged Chevron and Texaco. My portfolio for Public and Government Affairs. I was Company Secretary, Public and Government Affairs Manager, which is the first anybody will hold 3 positions in one. And 2001, my portfolio for Public and Government Affairs covered West Africa, Nigeria, Cameroon, Togo, Benin, Ivory Coast, and Congo, while the Company Secretary was Nigeria because of its fields. And within that period, I did a lot of things with my team that when I chose to leave, I left 2007 voluntarily and then joined Britannia, where we have grown the company from ground zero to where we are today. We have now the upstream, the downstream, and the midstream. We have the shipping arm, we have the exploration and production, we have the export terminal. So we have a jetty, so it's one-stop shop company. So in terms of knowledge base, I'm not saying that I know anything, but it is something that collectively we can do something, come up with something. It is great to have somebody having those knowledge across the chain. But before we are going to do anything, we will have to sit after this. One is that I'm a workaholic, so any of you that is not ready to work, wherever you are, now you have a virtual work ethics globally. So wherever you are, we need to work, we need to work. It's not when all of us gather here. Okay? But first, His Excellency, the first thing that we have to do is that to convert these OMLs and OPLs to go under the petroleum PIA industry act. So the OMLs will now be PPL. OPL, you have PML. So you have to get that done, and it has to be done ASAP. If it's not done, you will lose it. So now, when you have got that, the next thing that you have to do is to engage. You do workshops. The companies that are going to take this, that have been given this oil blocks, must come up with their PIA's requirements, their community engagement, the 3%. Because that 3% entails that you will have to engage 3% of your OPEX. You have to engage the community. It's no longer going to be you going in to do something. No. You will engage them. They will tell you what they want, what project that they want. Okay? Then it is now their term sheets that you have to, fill out where whatever your OPEC is, 3% of that. But it's not to give them to go and share. Yes, there will be a board from the community, not from the governors. So if we have to do it, we have to do it correctly. Now, when you're looking at the gas that you can have, Your Excellency, so much gas. But you see, if you don't have gas gathering infrastructure, you're wasting your time. So those things first, we will have to do a reappraisal to actually know what you have. And it has to be done by an international reserve evaluation company, the likes of the Goya McNaughton. Why do you want to do that? You want to do that because it is money behind the pipe. You will use that to do a reserve-based lending from any international funding. If you don't have that, with the current transition from fossil fuel to green energy, nobody will look at you. They want to be sure that you have that. You might have that 35, 50 trillion, that might be proven. You still have upsides. So what they need to do first, we will have to have the team that are the G&G, geological team, that will interface, because some of you, what I'm talking about, some of you don't know what it is. So we will have to have that. And those ones will have the term sheet for the G&G work, reserve evaluation, that will tell the state the exact reserve that you have. If you bring out this reserve and look at it, maybe the reserve is done by some African listeners or Nigerians. No, it has to be done by internationally recognized reserve evaluation companies. Then we'll now, because in as much as the gas is the in thing, but fossil fuel will still remain relevant. Relevant in the sense that for you to transit, there are lots of things that, and how many of the governments in the country that have the funds to do that? But we need to start somewhere. And if we are committed, the way His Excellency have said, because one thing is saying, the other thing is commitment. And commitment, the basic thing that, Your Excellency, that we will look at is ease of doing business. We talk about it in the country, but in practical terms, it is not done, because I am somebody who is in the core business. If I come in, I went to Ghana, and their policies were up and down, up and down. I've invested so much, I told them I walked away. And they are calling me to go. I don't need to go there. I have enough blocks. They have enough blocks in Nigeria that if I want to invest here. So if you make the investor feel comfortable, the investor comes in and then brings in other investors. But if I come in here and I go into a village and every day I'm fighting with the communities and that, no. This is area where the government will have to, there has to be proper engagement, just like the section said. And when there is proper engagement, then you will be able to have synergy between the operator, the government, and the community. Without that, it will be difficult. So we don't want, if we want to go into this, it has to be a seamless and continuous process. So, Your Excellency, sir, we will want a situation where you will have to give the needed support in terms of certain approvals that will make your team to be able to meet the terms and make the job for the committee easier. So with that, I think we'll be able to, we're not saying that we can do magic, but we will try to, within the ambit of our competencies and our capability, to be able to do something that will leave a legacy for people coming.